And like, I don't like being that girl that's like, my boyfriend, like every 2 seconds, but like, my boyfriend. Hi guys, welcome back to 20 something podcast. I'm Carly if you don't already know me. Guys, I have a co-host today. This is Lila. Oh, it's okay. She's so confused right now. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's okay. She's really sleepy. But she wants to hang out with me, so I'm letting her chill. Do you have anything to say to the people? Miss Lila is a year old. She's a Boston Terrier. She's so happy to be here, as you can tell. She's just gonna chill while I record. Hopefully she settles down. Guys, I'm home from college now, which is really weird. I've never recorded in my home before, and I'm not really liking it. I feel like I have to be really quiet. She started eating my calm notes, and to be honest, I just let her do it. As long as she's occupied, I really don't care. I haven't recorded in a while, so we have a lot to catch up on. I think the last time I posted a podcast was a month ago, which is crazy. I haven't gone that long without posting yet, and I really missed you guys, but the past month of my life has been so hectic. I just feel like I've had so much going on, all good things, but yeah, I haven't recorded in a while. I do want to catch up with you guys, but just to tell you kind of what we're talking about today, we're going to be discussing Bridgerton because season 3 came out and I need to talk about it. Oh my god, wait, my dog is like eating a bobby pin. Something about Lila is that her and I connect on like a spiritual level because she's really stupid. I have a soft spot for her. Dude, get that out of your mouth. Get that out of your mouth. We are really off to a rough start today. That's okay though. Okay, back to what I was saying. We're talking about Bridgerton, and then we're going to talk about how to make your summer a self-care summer and a growth summer. To catch you guys up on what I've been up to, this past month I was finishing up my junior year of college. Crazy, I'm going to be a senior. It's so true what everyone says that college goes by so fast. I was wrapping up school, I was finishing all of my assignments a month ago. In the last podcast episode I posted, I remember saying that I was having such a hard time finding an internship for the summer. And since then, I've received a couple of offers. I'm actually so excited I can finally tell you guys. Basically, one of like my top internships that I applied for, I ended up having a couple of interviews and then like trial content run with them, but I was really nervous about it because I got my hopes up. And I'm telling you guys, like, manifestation is real. I literally manifested like hearing back from them to the tune of Ariana Grande's Successful. I'm not even kidding. I was kind of like bumming, and I was like, damn, like I haven't heard back from like any jobs that I really want. And literally the day before I heard back, I was like crying to my boyfriend, and I was like, I'm not gonna have a job. And then the next day I was driving to a final presentation that I had to do for one of my classes, and I was listening to Successful. And if you don't know like what that song is or how it goes, it's like I don't want to like sing, but she's like,
I just got some real good news from work.
I don't know, listen to it. I'm like so embarrassed. Basically, I got to class, I got to my presentation, and I opened my little computer, I was checking my email, and I got an offer for this role. And when I tell you guys, this is like my dream internship, I'm not even kidding you. I've been a fan of this brand for like years, like 3 years now. And I've always wanted to work in the skincare industry, in the beauty industry. And as you guys know, I'm like a content creator. I work with some brands on a really small scale, but at the end of the day, what I really want to do is make content full time. Are you guys ready? Guys, I am interning with Bubble, the skincare company. I'm so excited. I've never been more excited for a job before. I had my first date today, actually, and it went really well. I was so excited when I got it. I just kind of wanted to take a little bit of time to not really tell anyone and kind of like relish in that, because I don't know, I'm so happy. But yeah, I had my first day today, and then I'm going into New York tomorrow, and I'm really excited to see everything that I learn with that experience this summer, and to take you guys kind of along on the journey. Obviously, I can't share everything with you, but I'm excited to kind of just record my day-to-day life. Let me know if you guys are interested in hearing more about the process of applying to internships. I have worked in the PR industry before. I had a PR internship last summer, and I really wanted to go into the beauty PR space, but I also really wanted to do something creative and something very hands-on. But yeah, I'm so down to talk about the process that I went through looking for internships and applying to different internships, and how I kind of ended up at the different places that I've worked. I also was just enjoying my last couple weeks at school. It's been so fun being 21 now and actually being able to go out to the bars and hang out with my friends. And honestly, like, it's really weird being 21 and like all of a sudden there's like this pressure taken off of drinking, because obviously it's like not illegal anymore. I'm like not a huge drinker, but when I do go out, I like go out. And I ended up like throwing up in the bar. I think like 2 weeks ago. It was bad. It was really bad. Wait, I should actually tell you guys. I can't believe like I'm putting this on the internet. So I was like on the dance floor, and then all of a sudden I look at my boyfriend, and at this point, like, I didn't even drink that much, but I think my problem was that I pre-gamed really hard. So I pre-gamed super hard, and then I went to the bar, and at the bar I had like 2 vodka crayons, and I like cut it at that. I even like slipped in a water. Like, I thought that I was doing the best that I could do. And all of a sudden I like get lightheaded, and I look at my boyfriend and I'm like, I think I need air. Like, I need air. And he's like, oh, okay, like, let's go upstairs. We'll go upstairs. There's like a deck open to the outside upstairs. So I'm sitting on the deck, and thank God there was nobody out there. I look at my poor boyfriend, Trey, and I was just like, I'm gonna throw up. And he was like, here? And I was like, yeah. And then I threw up on my shoes. I threw up on my white Nike M2Ks. They're fine, like, they were dirty anyway, and like, I need to bleach those motherfuckers. But yeah, I threw up on my shoes. And I was not happy about it. And then I didn't even have time to like wipe the shoes off. I didn't really throw up like on my clothes or like on myself. It like really was just like on the floor and a little bit on my shoes. And I was like, I need to like go to the bathroom. So we were standing in line for the bathroom. I literally like, I'm like dead asleep on his shoulder. Like, there are other girls in line like looking at us weird, because my best friend was there too, my best friend Lane, and we were waiting in line for the bathroom. And like, it looks strange because this guy is going to the bathroom with 2 girls, and like, I'm like pissed drunk, and all the girls in line, like, bless them, they were like, is she okay? Like, does she want to come in with us? Does she have to pee? And I like looked at them and I was like, you don't want me to come in with you? I was like, fine, I'm gonna go with him. And the second that I get into the bathroom, I just like threw up. And then I was like, I think it's time to go. And we went home. But yeah, my bestie Boo Lane was like third wheeling that night, and I felt bad. She kept being like, oh, I'm sorry I'm third wheeling, but I had so much fun. Something that I really think is important in a relationship is that your partner is like also your best friend. And can get along with your other best friends. So I personally love when my friends like third wheel with us. I think we've done that like several times. My other friend Sophia came to like a little concert with just me and him, and I think she had fun. I don't think I was like, you know, if someone's third wheeling, you're not just gonna like knack next to them. I think we're like a good couple to third wheel for. But yeah, shout out Lane, shout out Trey for dealing with me that night. I really haven't gotten sick from drinking in a while. I used to get sick from drinking when I was in high school because I just didn't know how to drink, like every single time. And like I was known as someone that like was gonna throw up every time. I haven't thrown up from drinking in a while. I also hate talking about throw up. I'm sorry. If you're sensitive about that, sorry. And then I came home for a little bit for less than a week. I brought home like half of my college stuff, unpacked it, and then I went back up to Rhode Island for my boyfriend's graduation. Literally the whole podcast is me talking about Trey. The whole damn podcast. But I think that's just me in general in life. And like I don't like being that girl that's like, my boyfriend, like every 2 seconds, but like my boyfriend. Yeah, I went back up to Rhode Island for Trey's graduation, and that was so much fun. I'll like insert pictures and stuff. We just had the best time ever celebrating him, and I can't believe that he's so fucking old, like so old, and that he's gonna become a real person and step into the real world and pay taxes and like pay student loans and such. Like that's insane, but it also makes our relationship feel so adult. If that like makes any sense. I lied to you guys because I said that I was gonna film an episode in Rhode Island, like this episode 11. I said that I was gonna film an episode in Rhode Island and Trey was gonna be my special guest and we were gonna talk about graduating. But I realized on my drive back to Rhode Island that I forgot my podcast equipment. So that episode has not been filmed yet, but I'm thinking I might have him on this weekend because he's coming to visit for Memorial Day. So I'll keep you guys posted. I kind of have like no plan right now for the podcast because I also am really getting back into a routine with being home, and we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff later. It's hard. I have like nothing figured out about like my personal socials and my content plans and the podcast plan. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't ask me. But I have ideas. I just need to like plan out when I'm doing everything. But I also like when the podcast just kind of is authentic and I think of the topic like a couple of days or something beforehand and kind of just like meditate on it. And I don't know, it just feels like less manufactured when I like spontaneously pick a topic and then get really into it. But I do want to just cover so many different things. And then I got home from Rhode Island yesterday. The drive absolutely has been killing me. Like I can't do it anymore. It's like a 4.5 hour drive for me. It usually ends up being between like 5 and 6, and it's just like brutal. I hate Connecticut. I hate driving in Connecticut. I'm sorry to anyone who lives in Connecticut, and I used to like Connecticut. But after 3 years of driving through Connecticut all the time, I no longer like Connecticut. And I hate I-95. And then today I started work, and work was so good. I am just very like content with how the day went. And yeah, I'm getting used to being back at home, which has been good. I really miss my siblings like so much, and just being around them and hearing like them yelling and shit is so much fun. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm the oldest of 4 siblings. I have a sister who's 17 and then a brother who's 16 and another brother who's 13. And I love them. They're like my little mini me's. I forget, like my high school friends used to have a really funny term for them. Now they just call them the children. Like even though they're not the children, they're just like Howard the children. But yeah, those are my little siblings who aren't that little anymore. The chaos in my home it's always very chaotic here. We have 3 dogs. So Lila, the one that you guys just saw, and then we have Butch And then we have Bella. They're all Boston Terriers. I'll insert pictures of them here. But Butch and Bella are a little older. Butch is named Butch because he's like kind of obese. But we love him. And his body is beautiful. He's just like, you know, thickums. They're all so cute. So we have the 3 dogs and then 4 siblings and my mom and my stepdad. There's just a lot of people, a lot of beings in one house, but I like the noise. It's kind of comforting. And they still have school. It's so funny, like they'll like wake up and get ready for school in the morning and I'm like, hey. I love it. To get into Bridgerton, I've been waiting to talk about this for so long. And I'm really excited because season 3 just came out. And if you haven't watched Bridgerton, I highly recommend, like, you have to watch it. Lately, I've really been into, like, I guess they're period pieces, but also, like, mixing, like, comedy and drama. So, like, Bridgerton, Game of Thrones. I love The Great with Elle Fanning. It's about Catherine the Great, but it's just, like, so funny. I watched that whole series and then like I got like 3 episodes before the end of it and I stopped watching because I didn't want to finish it because they canceled the show and I just like, I know it's not coming back and I don't know. I don't want to finish it. I wanted to talk about Bridgerton and kind of give you guys my thoughts on all of the seasons. I think that Bridgerton is a really good mix of like drama and sexiness, but it's also funny and it's lighthearted and there are so many like things that they touch on throughout the series that are really heartfelt, and it's just also a really well thought out show. I think they have really great casting, really diverse casting. I think some of the most diverse I've ever seen, and usually I love their costumes and makeup and just like the style of everything, and I love where they film, set design, like everything is just stunning and gorgeous, and there's literally nothing like it. There's nothing like this show. To give you my thoughts on all the seasons, the first season was about Daphne and Simon, and when this came out I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be into this. I didn't watch it for I want to say like a month or 2 after it came out, and I think it came out like during COVID, I want to say. And I ended up watching it because, you know, I had nothing else to do. And I loved it. And I was like, wow, like this really hits. And then they came out with a second season about Kate and Anthony. And if you're not like familiar with the premise of the show, basically it revolves around the love stories of each of these like 8 siblings, the Bridgertons, and they're in like, I don't know, like the 1800s. Is it bad that I don't know? The 18 somethings, right? London, and they're like in high society. Every season is about the process that they go through when they're courting each other and trying to find someone to marry. So season 2 is about Kate and Anthony. I didn't think when I saw season 1 that the show could get better, and holy shit, season 2 I think trumps season 1 entirely. It's so good, and I think I'm biased because I just love Kate's character. Kate Sharma is the one who ends up with Anthony in the show, and she's just one of my favorite characters in the entire show. I think she's the perfect balance of like having this really strong feminine energy but also being so emotionally aware and soft in a way, but she's also a really funny character. And I think that her story with Anthony and just their connection and their chemistry on screen is just unmatched. I mean, the actress who plays Kate, Simone Ashley, is also beautiful. Like, so pretty. I would say that's been my favorite season. And then in between season 2 and season 3, they came out with a spin-off. In the show, there's a queen, because, like, they dabble in royalty and all of that. Queen Charlotte, who was a real person, but also, like, isn't really based on a real person in the show. She's kind of just a character. but they did a spin-off of her love story when she was younger, when she married King George, and I thought that was even better than season 2. And honestly, it's hard for me to say which I like better. The spin-off is called Queen Charlotte. I just love that story. I have such an attachment to Queen Charlotte. The acting in that was so good, and just everything. It was just as good, if not better, than the actual series. And I highly, highly recommend watching that. If you're gonna watch Bridgerton, also watch that. If you just want to watch that alone, watch it. I think it's so good. It's so good. Each season 2 isn't just focused on the 2 characters who end up falling in love. I had to fix my camera. But there's so many side characters in the show too. There's always so much going on. There's so many characters to fall in love with. Some of my personal favorite characters are Eloise. I think she's the funniest in the whole show. I just love her whole personality. At first, I kind of thought that her character, not that she was annoying, I just didn't think that she would be my favorite, but she has the best lines. Like, if you listen to what Eloise is saying, she's good. She's really good. And I think she's also had a really interesting character arc, and I've really liked watching her story. And then, like I said before, I really love Kate. I think that Kate was the perfect addition to the show. I'm really upset that so far from what they have released of season 3, her and Anthony are not in the show as much. And Anthony is my other favorite. I love Anthony. I think he's my favorite brother so far. I just think he's so funny, and his character has developed so much since the beginning of the show. I also think he had like the best love confession. He had the best lines. Like, I forget what it was, like the quote that was going around that he said to Kate, like the famous one, but it was good. Whatever it was good. Honestly, I would say my least favorite character is Benedict. I don't care for him. Honestly. I don't really like Colin either, and I'm trying to like Colin. But he's just never really been my favorite. I also really like Queen Charlotte, like both old and young versions of her. I think that the older version of her is just so funny, and I love the scenes that she has in Bridgerton. And of course, I love Violet. Violet is just the best mom. She's like Lady Bridgerton. She's literally like everything I aspire to be in a mother. She always has the best little like inspirational monologues for her kids, and her character is just like so soft and sweet. Those are some of the ones that I really like. Of course, I love Daphne, but Daphne's like not in the show anymore, which is just messed up. Like, I think that if willing, they need to bring Daphne back. I don't care if I really don't see Simon, but bring Daphne back as much as possible. Like, I want to see her like visit them. I want to hear what's going on in her life. Like, I love Daphne. I don't think she's the most entertaining of all of them though, but I loved her story, and she's just like the older sister vibe, you know. Of course, also King George. I love King George, but obviously only in the spin-off Queen Charlotte. Justice for King George. Like, his character is just like so wholesome. I really love the love that George and Charlotte had. Their relationship is unlike any other that I've seen in the show. I need to rewatch that. Honestly, I might rewatch it tonight. It's so good. It's so good. So season 3 with Penelope and Colin is the one that just came out, and they've only released the first 4 episodes of the season, and the rest will come out at some point, I think in June. And my honest thoughts on the first half of the season is that the storyline is moving a lot faster than it has in past seasons. I don't think I mind it, because neither Colin or Penelope are new characters. There are some new characters or characters that they're focusing more on in the show. I forget their names, but the new married couple that joined society this season, I really like them. I'll insert like pictures probably. But And then they introduce a new love interest for Benedict, who I also like. She's really giving like MILF energy. I don't know if she has a kid, but it's like giving MILF energy. To be so for real, I don't think that the costumes this season are nearly as good as they have been in past seasons. I don't really know what's going on, but also like the makeup that's going on this season is just like not feeling right to me. It's giving very much like 21st century. And I think that Bridgerton like walks a very great line of like being semi-historically accurate, but also really having fun with the costumes and makeup. But I don't want to see like rhinestones on Penelope's eyelids. I think that we're bringing the line a little too close to Euphoria with that. I need to like draw it back. And one of the like main characters in this season is Francesca, and she has a beat face. Like she is like powder on her face. She's wearing contour, and it's like obvious. And I think that that's like they've kind of stepped away from that in the past, and I think it makes a difference, especially when you're kind of stepping out of the box with the costumes. Maybe like draw the line back with the makeup a little bit. Yeah, I just like I don't like the costumes as much this season, but that's not to say that they won't get better again. Everyone has like their off time, but I think that Penelope's glow up, a lot of people are saying like, oh, Penelope didn't have a big glow up. I think people are forgetting that like the actress, like she's pretty to begin with. Penelope was pretty to begin with. All that changed is her clothing and her confidence. That's the key part, is that all of a sudden she starts dressing different, doing her hair differently, and she has this like new confidence, I think, about her, and this new kind of aura, which is reflected in her clothing and the colors that she wears, maybe the makeup that she has on. And I don't think that her change is meant to be that drastic. I think it's just supposed to feel more like her, and less like what is expected of her from her mom and her sisters. So I kind of disagree with a lot of people on that. I think that her change was perfect. The only things that I would change is like the costumes just looked like cheaper to me. There were a lot of like sheer things this season, a lot of frills, and I just love like the classic costumes that they've had the past couple of seasons, and I'll put like some of my favorites in. I think that some of the outfits this season were just lacking that same like touch of elegance that they've had in past seasons. I'm really like delving into this right now. But yeah, I don't know. That was the only thing that was really off to me. I like Penelope and Colin's story, but I don't know. Something about the carriage scene, love it, great. Something about it feels out of character to me for both of them. I think that also it's very like, hello, like did the drivers like not hear the carriage shaking? Like, did they not hear them literally moaning? I don't know. And like in previous seasons, literally if you were like seen in a room with a dude, like you'd be forced to marry him. But Penelope and Colin got a ton of alone time together, like unsupervised alone time, which they explain that a little bit in the show. And it also is because like their families are like good friends and stuff. But I think that I was just like, whoa. There's nothing like secretive. There's nothing stealthy about this carriage scene. It was crazy. We'll see where it goes though. I also wasn't really digging the whole like Collins like fuckboy era. He definitely was giving study abroad. That's the joke that everyone keeps making, is that he was really giving study abroad. Like, oh, I traveled all these countries and now I'm like forever changed. Yeah, I don't really know like what's up with him, but also I never really pay attention to Colin. But I was excited to maybe get to know his character a little more this season, so I hope in the second half we kind of touch more on Colin's emotional side than the persona that he's kind of been putting out for the first half of the season. But Penelope literally called him on that. Like, she called him on that in her Lady Whistledown thing. She literally was like, what is this like persona that he's putting out there? Is this real? And I don't think it's real. I don't think it's real. Those are my thoughts. I hope that all of that kind of like made sense. I know I kind of like sped through it, but I love that show so much. I love it so much. The other thing that I wanted to talk about today is the idea that I have, I think maybe mentioned to you guys about having a self-care summer. We're not having hot girl summer, we're having self-care summer. And I said this last year to my friends too, that I really wanted to have a year where I kind of just, or not a year, a couple months where I kind of just focused on my well-being and my mental state and just prioritizing peace in my life and really doing the things that I genuinely love to do. And I want to talk more with you guys about this over time, over the next couple of weeks as we get into the summer. I know a lot of you guys are going to be on break soon, but I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've been thinking about getting back into yoga and meditation and all of these different things that just kind of bring me a sense of peace and a sense of rejuvenation that I don't necessarily have as much time for during the school year. I also have just been thinking a lot about not saying yes to every single plan that comes my way. I think that especially when I'm home for the summer, because I have so many people here that I want to see and so many different things that I want to do, and I feel like I'm more pressed for time, I feel like I have a tendency to just say yes to everything and just say yes to going out all the time. But I want to limit that this summer, and I really want to make an effort to take time for myself, which I always do and I always like doing, but I want to take the pressure off and not feel like I have to say yes to everything all the time just to make everyone else around me happy. You guys know in Rhode Island I was doing hot girl walks all the time, and I really want to keep that going here. I love a good walk. I think it's so good for you just to like get some fresh air, see some nature, take some time to just like breathe and be alone. It just helps me like stay grounded and come back to center. But yeah, I'm just like throwing all these things out there that I really want to focus on. I also really want to focus on skincare because like duh. But that's something I kind of always focus on. But I mean, I'm fucking with my camera again. It keeps just like tilting because I have the ring light on it and it's really heavy right now. I need to get like a proper setup. I also just really want to work on eliminating negative thoughts and negative vibes and maybe relationships that aren't serving me and people that are bringing negative energy into my life. And I'm going to think more through all of these things, and as we go through the summer, kind of share with you guys my progress and what has helped me really delve into these things and how to maybe get into it yourself. I just wanted to introduce you guys to the idea of self-care summer and what that's going to entail. I really, really, really want to focus on self-love too. I know I've talked about it on here a couple times, but my confidence has just been at an all-time low. Well, maybe not an all-time low, but lower than it has been in a while, and that's never a good feeling. And I really want to reclaim the confidence that I feel like I had a little while ago. But it's hard. I think that we go through phases in life where we feel certain things more than we do other times. And I'm trying to remind myself that, yeah, maybe I don't feel super confident right now, but that time will pass. Something that I've also been thinking a lot about is balance and finding a balance in my routine as I'm settling into being at home for the summer, as I'm sure you guys are, whether you're settling into a routine somewhere, if maybe you're traveling for the summer and you've moved somewhere new, or if you went home for the summer, or if you're staying at school for the summer, or whatever your situation is. I feel like this summer in general is a great time to kind of reevaluate your daily routine because the days are longer and so many new possibilities will open up as we get into warmer weather, like going on long walks. Some people can't do that all year round because of the weather and wherever they live. And summer is the time to really do all of these things, which is why I'm saying like we need to get into self-care mode this summer. And I'm not saying that I'm not going to let myself like go out and go crazy because I'm having a Jersey Shore summer too, but I think that balance is so important and getting into a routine is so good for you. Having things that you know that you will have time for, that you like every single day, is so, so, so important. So some things to kind of give you guys some inspiration on what I'm trying to work into my routine. I'm really trying to work meditating into my routine every day. It's something that you don't have to do for a while. I usually do it for 5 to 10 minutes. I just put on like a little YouTube video of a meditation, usually guided, and that really helps me stay focused, or not focused, but helps me keep my thoughts like super quiet. It lets me just breathe and be still and be at peace for a couple minutes. I usually like to do this before bed, but it can be different for everyone. I also really want to start going to yoga classes as much as possible, because this is something I was into a couple years ago, and I feel like I kind of fell out of this year, which is disappointing because I love yoga so much. Honestly, I'm not terrible at it. Like, I'm flexible, but I really want to work on building up my strength, and my gym here has great yoga classes, so I'm gonna start going as much as I possibly can. I also want to make more time to go to the beach this summer. I feel like last summer I didn't go to the beach that much, but I really want to get outside and get some color, and also just spend time with friends on the beach, because I feel like those are some of my favorite summer days, just like lounging on the beach with my feet in the sand and getting a tan or a burn, because most of the time I end up burning. But I'm also really trying to get on my SPF game this summer, and I put sunscreen on. I'm terrible at reapplying. I burn like crazy the first couple of times that I go in the sun in the summer, and then I start to get a little tan. But I'll never be like a tan girly. Like, I'll never be that girl that you look at and you're like, oh, I wish I had her tan. Like, I'm always gonna be a little bit pale, and I'm okay with that. I think that I've come to peace with that. I also kind of want to start meal prepping, or maybe not like meal prepping like crazy, but not being in a rush if I'm packing my lunch to go somewhere for the day, and just kind of having things that are ready for me when I need them. I really want to focus on cooking more and spending time with the people that I love. So all of my friends and my family and my boyfriend, and just kind of like living in the moment. I think that living in the moment is something that I've been trying to work on for a few years, because a lot of times I feel like I have the tendency to be in a room full of people and I'm in my own head, like thinking about all the things that I have to do, when there's nothing I can do about any of those things right now in this moment. So why am I not like enjoying the room full of people that is in front of me? Why am I not socializing? Why am I not having fun and dancing or doing whatever it is that I should be doing wherever I am? And then it makes it worse, because then I'm hard on myself for not being in the moment. Something that I've been doing lately that has been helping me is when I start to get worked up and I'm not in the moment, I just kind of like take a second and I stop that thought. So I'm like, hey, okay, I'm feeling like I'm thinking about too many things that I have to do later, but I really want to enjoy this moment now. When that happens to me, I literally pause and I literally go like this. And I like hold my breath for a couple seconds, and then and yeah, maybe it's like not that easy for people. Like, a lot of times I have to take a couple deep breaths, but like sometimes you just have to check yourself and just like breathe for a second and then be like, okay, I'm here. But that's been helping me lately. There are obviously so many other things that you can do to kind of help yourself stay present and stay grounded. Things that I cannot think of right now. But like I said, we're going to keep talking about all of this, and I'm going to update you guys on my progress with all of these things. Another goal I have is that I really want to get better at hair this summer. And I think that that's like a good self-care thing, like learning how to make yourself like feel good about certain things that you do. So hair and makeup are some things that I really want to get into this summer. I think I'm okay at makeup, but who knows? Maybe I'm terrible and no one has the decency to tell me. But I really want to get better at hair, because I suck at hair. I really suck at hair. It's just not my forte. I wish that I wasn't admitting this right now, but I don't know how to braid hair. I've never really been interested in hair, but now all of a sudden I really am interested in it. I also want to learn how to do my own nails, because I want to save money on nails, but I also want to have nice long nails. And I bite these suckers because I get anxious. Well, not bite, I actually pick at them with my finger. I I'm kind of a germaphobe, like a little bit. I don't really like having like things in my mouth that are touching a lot of things, so I just pick at my fingers. But yeah, that's why I used to get acrylics all the time, so that I wouldn't pick at them. But acrylics are expensive, and I'm trying to save money so I can move out of my parents' home eventually. So I'm trying not to get acrylics. If you guys have any recommendations for nail kits, let me know. I would love to try. But that's the goal, is to learn how to do my own like acrylics at home. But yeah, those are some things that I'm thinking of getting into. I think I have more. Oh, journaling. I love journaling. And I want to do a full episode on journaling, but I feel like I haven't really had time to journal while at school. And I always like up my journaling game in the summer, but I really want to just soak it all in and kind of just like recap everything that I do. I wish that I had time to do it every day, but I don't have the time or energy. But yeah, that too. So yeah, like I said, I will keep updating you guys throughout the summer. I'm really excited to get on this journey. I'm sorry if today's episode was a little boring, a little monotone. I'm so excited to enjoy this summer with you guys though. And thank you for tuning in. I hope this is a relaxing episode. I feel like my voice is very like calming. It's giving like ASMR. Wait. Is it giving ASMR? Hello. Trisha Paytas, can you hear me? People tell me all the time I should do ASMR. Wait. ASMR. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to catch up with you. In case you missed my Instagram or TikTok, or I forget if I said it in the podcast, I'm switching to bi-weekly uploads so that I can thoroughly edit the podcast and really pour my heart and soul into every episode instead of just like willy-nilly throwing things up there. But the podcasts from now on are going to be much more well thought out and hopefully well shot. But yeah, we have lots of things to look forward to, but bi-weekly uploads now. But you can always just stalk me on TikTok all the time. I'm constantly apping on there. So if you're not getting enough of me on here, there's plenty more of my content to consume. And then the goal one day is to be able to upload a podcast again every week. But I've got a busy summer ahead of me. And I'm sure you guys too. And I'm sure you guys do too. But I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure that you're following us on there and leave us a little review. It really helps us out. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all of the things. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye.